Yeah, yesterday we have seen how to mimic method of overloading by using default parameters. Correct.
Yes.
So now today we will extend that to further. So in this example, we are going to use
Your screen is not visible.
1 second. Okay, now you can see, right?
Ah, yes.
See in this example, inside the search class, we have created one function called find with the one
Yes.
parameter. Correct. So in the earlier classes, we have discussed about this kind of syntax, arbitrary arguments. What we call it as arbitrary
Obviously, or
arguments. So it can handle any number of arguments.
yeah, any number of parameters we can pass.
Yes. So here we are using this kind of syntax to mimic method
Overload.
overloading. So what do you mean by method overloading?
Uh, I mean, one function with different parameters, like multiple parameters we
Yes.
can pass.
Function name is same, but
Like, different parameters we can
different
pass.
parameters. So here, in this case, as we are using arbitrary arguments, it will be invoked even if you send one parameter or
Or
two
multiple.
parameters,
Yeah.
two parameters or multiple parameters.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is our class definition. Inside this class, we have find method. Then this is our arbitrary arguments, and we are finding the length. If length is 1, which means we are sending only one parameter. Then you can write any business logic here. Then we are checking if we have passed two parameters, then
Yes.
this part is going to execute and you can implement any logic over here. Okay. As an example, I have written one return statement with whatever parameters you have passed to it. Okay.
Okay.
So this is where we are creating an object for this class, correct?
Yes.
So if you want to access any method from the class, you should use object dot method name. So s dot method name. What is the method name here? Find. Okay.
Mind.
So for the first statement, we are sending one parameter. So it will check the length of the parameter. So this particular condition is satisfied. So what it returns, search by product name,
And
laptop, laptop.
yes.
Then for the second statement, as we are returning two parameters,
Parameters.
this condition is not
False.
satisfied. Then it will check the second condition. Now it is satisfied. So it will return search by name, laptop, and a category electronics. Why we are using args of 0, args of 1? Because this is a variable which can hold multiple values.
Values.
So first value is accessed by index 0 and second value is accessed by index 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you execute this statement, this is output you would be getting. Okay.
Okay.
So then coming to the second one, method overriding. Method overriding means we will use same method with exactly same signature. Signature in the sense same number of parameters. Okay, method overriding is this is the case when we are using inheritance. Okay, if you implement same method in the base class and derived classes with the same syntax, then we call it as method
Override.
overriding concept. Okay, overriding means what? Overriding means whatever derived class implementation is there, that will override the base class version. Okay, basically, what will happen in inheritance, the properties from the base class is derived into the derived class or child class.
Yes.
Okay, so if you create a same method with the exactly same signature both in base class as well as in derived class, what will happen in the derived class? You will have two methods with exactly same name and same syntax, same parameters, correct?
Yes.
Same name and same parameters. So in that case, the priority is always given to the local version. Local version means whatever implementation you have done in the derived class, that will be given the highest priority. So whatever implementation we have done in the derived class, that will override the base class version. Okay, so let me explain you in detail about this. This is my parent class or base class, correct?
Okay.
So
Yes.
name of the base class is payment.
Payment.
Then process payment is a method which is taking one argument, payment. Okay, and this is where we are writing the implementation part. So as an example, I have simply written print statement.
Okay.
Okay, then I have two child classes, cash payment and a card payment. Both are inheriting from the same parent. Okay, so payment is a base class from which we are creating cash payment. Okay, so this is how to write the inheritance. So whenever you are implementing inheritance, the base class name should be mentioned here. That means payment is a base class,
Base class.
cash payment is a derived class. Similarly, card payment, the base class is payment and card payment is a derived class. Okay.
Yeah.
So inside the derived classes also, we have implemented same method with exactly same signature. Correct.
Yes.
So names might be changed, but we always think of number of parameters. Okay. So whether they are having the same number of parameters or not, that is what we need to check for. You can give any name here, maybe amount one you can give. But when we talking about method overriding, what the system checks is whether the function names are same or not, whether it has got same number of parameters. Okay,
Okay.
it never check names of the parameters. Okay, it
Okay.
only check for number of parameters. So in this case, this is a base class version of process payment, and this is a derived class version of the process payment method. Method name same and also number of parameters are same. So
Same.
you should uh, call this mechanism as a method overriding.
Writing.
Method overriding. So instead of taking only one parameter, if I use another parameter, okay, then you should not call it as a method overriding. It should be method overloading.
Writing.
So method overloading, you will have a same method name but different parameters. Okay.
Parameters.
So now as we are discussing about method overriding, the base class method and derived class method, they should be same in terms of its name and number of parameters. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
So now in this example, I mean, in this cell, I have written some statements. First, I have created an object for P1.
Yes.
I mean, object for cash payment.
Payment.
Object name is P1.
Payment.
Then second object is card payment. Okay. So now P1 dot process payment of 5,000. Okay. Then what would be your output? So when we inherit, when we apply this inheritance, what will happen? This particular function will also commands it in derived class. So in
Yes.
derived class, you will have two methods with the same name and same signature. Okay. But derived class version will override the base class version. So when you call P1 dot process payment of 5,000, it will invoke this part. Okay. And similarly, P2 dot process payment, then you will get the output as processing card payment. Okay. So that is what you got here. So now let me explain you with an example. So what is the name of the base class and derived classes? Let's see. Payment is the base class name.
Yes. Yes.
This is the base class name. Okay. So inside this class, what we have? We have
Process. Process payment.
process payment. Okay. Similarly, we have derived class,
Cash payment. Card.
cash payment. So inside this, we have two
Card.
two methods. One is derived from the base class.
Yes.
The other one is from the derived class itself. Okay. Similarly, we have card payment. Okay. So this is card payment. So now, as the derived class will have two functions with same name and the same parameters, and the first one is the one derived from the base class.
Base class.
Okay. So this function is derived from base class, and
Yes.
this is a derived class version. So in this case, what the system does is it will override the base class version with the derived class version. Okay.
Okay.
That is the reason why when you invoke the function p1 dot process payment, so it will invoke the derived class version. This will not be invoked. Okay. Similarly, when you create an object for card payment, here also base class version will be overridden by the derived class version. So you will get derived class versions output. Okay. So that is the reason why here the output you got is for P1 dot process payment of 5,000. What is output? Processing cash payment of
Payment.
5,000.
Yes.
So this is what the output. Okay.
Yes.
Similarly, for second statement, this is processing card payment of 8,000. Okay. This is a statement that is executed. Right. So
Yes.
now in the following cell, I have created an object for parent class. Okay. P is an object for payment class.
Payment class.
Now if I invoke P dot process payment of 3,000, then as we have created an object for parent class, now it will invoke the function from the parent class, correct?
Yes.
So that is the reason why you got processing payment of 3,000. So this is
First
what the first one.
base. Yes.
Okay. Now you should understand these two statements very clearly. Okay. So now P is equal to P1. What we have done now? We have assigned uh, derived class object to the base class object. P1 is
Okay.
the object for the derived class,
Okay.
cash payment. Now we have assigned to
Base class.
base class object.
Yes.
Now if I invoke the same function p dot process payment of 100, then what is the function it is invoking? Is it a base class version or a derived class version?
Derived class version is
Derived
it?
class version. Okay. Similarly, in the below cell, I have assigned P2 is equal to P. Card payment. P2 is an object for card payment. Now I have assigned that to base class object. Now if
Yes.
I invoke P dot process payment, now it will execute the derived class version of card payment. Okay. So if you observe here, based on the object we are assigning to the base class object, when you assign P1 to base class object, it is able to invoke the function from the cash payment. When you
Yes.
assign P2 to P, it is calling card payment version. Okay. So this is called dynamic binding. Dynamic binding means based on the object you are assigning to the base class object. Okay. It will decide which function it has to invoke. Is it from base class function or a derived class function? Whether it is the function from the payment processing, I mean cash processing or card processing. Okay, dynamic binding it is called, right?
Yeah.
So you remember one thing, for a base class object, you can assign derived class objects. Okay. For a base class object, you can assign derived class objects, but reverse is not possible. Got it?
Okay.
So this is all about
Uh,
function.
one doubt, Kishore.
Yeah, please.
So, like P1 is an object, P2 is an object, right? Why we are assigning again P1 to a P?
To tell you that with the help of base class object also, you can
Okay.
access the members from the derived class object.
Okay.
Okay. So it is possible to access members of derived classes with the help of base class object. Okay.
Okay.
But the thing you need to understand here is if you have another additional functions or additional data you implement inside a derived class. Let's say if I write another function display.
Okay.
So this function cannot be accessed by using base class object. What is the reason?
Because this function name is different from the base class and the parameters as well.
No, that is not the reason. The reason is the base class object does not know anything about additional details or additional implementations we have done in the derived class. Okay. The base class object only knows about process payment method. Okay. It does
Okay.
not know any details about the additional things we have implemented in the derived class.
Okay.
Okay. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah. So in this example, I wanted to clearly tell you by using base class, you can access the derived class methods or variables which are inherited from the base class. Okay. If you provide any additional details inside the derived class, maybe additional functions or additional variables, they will not be accessed by using base class version,
Base classes.
base class object, because it doesn't have any clue about additional details. Okay.
Okay.
Then let us see another one, super method. Super. Why do we use super? With
To
the help
access.
of super, you can access. the base
Yes.
class methods. Okay, so in the following example, we have created two classes, invoice and GST invoice. Okay, and we are inheriting from the invoice, right?
Yes.
Then in the base class also we have a method called generate, and in derived class also you have a method generate. Now you tell me, do we implementing method overriding here also? Yes, we are implementing method overriding because
Dividing.
the method name is same and the number
Same.
of parameters also same. Okay, implementation might be different here. This might be another implementation here. You can implement in another way. Okay, but as long as the method name and the number of parameters are same, it is method overriding.
Right.
Okay, so in the derived class, what I wanted to do is I want to execute base class function also. Okay, so in that case, you can use the super method. With the help of super method, you can invoke the base class function. If I don't write this statement, okay,
Okay.
so I'll give you simple example. So here I'll create an object invoice for GST invoice. Okay, so now if I don't write this statement, invoice, comma, generate, if I invoke, then what would be your output? Your output would be
GST details.
GST details
Add.
added. GST details added. This is your
Yes.
output. Okay. But I also want to execute a base class version also along with the derived class. Okay. So then I'll remove this one. Then if I execute, I'll get
Base class.
base class output as well as derived class output.
Result.
Okay. So what you need to understand here is whenever you are using method overriding, okay, if you want to execute a base class version also along with the derived class version, then you can use a super function. With the help of super function, you can invoke the base class function. Okay.
Okay.
Then polymorphism using overriding.